Quarterfinals are set in what a lot of people you've seen on tennis Twitter and the other social media platforms, analysts who've been covering this tournament for 30 years, saying that this was arguably the best first week of US Open tennis action they've seen. The amount of young players having breakout runs, just amazing 5-set matches, hashtag long live 5 sets. And on the women's side as well, just stars being born everywhere, epic matches everywhere. The quarterfinals are set. So we're going to break down these matchups. Is Djokovic spending too much energy playing the likes of Nishikori and Brooksby, which we'll get into this match because that was amazing. Is he expending too much energy? He's 3 wins away from the Grand Slam. He's got to go Berrettini, Zverev, Medvedev. We're going to get into it all on this episode of The Slice, presented by Rally Tennis in our continued coverage of the US Open of 2021. Let's get into it. Welcome to the show, folks. Stephen Boughton back here, as always, bringing you The Slice. Thank you guys for getting us to 12,000 subscribers. Pretty crazy. I started The Slice to bring tennis news by tennis fans for tennis fans, and it's been amazing to be able to build this community, to have all your guys' comments, contributions to The Slice, so thank you so much. As a reminder, as always, subscribe. I want to get to 20,000 ASAP. That's our next goal, so subscribe. And if you haven't already, check out the links below because that supports our show. As I said, The Slice is presented by Rally Tennis at this year's 2021 US Open. Rally Tennis is the app where you can find new practice partners. You can join local leagues in your area if you're in the US, and you can just really elevate your tennis game. So maybe one day you can play like Jenson Brooksby just played, just dinking shots around the course using that two-handed backhand slice to really put the number one player in the world in a bit of a pickle for a while. So go to rallytennis.com. I actually forget the link, but the link is below. Click that, download the app now, and get playing more tennis. So, what just happened tonight? Most recent match, recency bias. Best match of the tournament so far for their at least 2 sets. Jenson Brooksby takes on Novak Djokovic. What I thought was going to happen was Jenson Brooksby was going to do all this, like keeping the ball in play, playing his little shots, his little intelligent shots, and that was going to frustrate Djokovic. The crowd was going to get behind Brooksby. That was going to make Djokovic get upset and then go beast mode and then win the match. And that's basically what happened. But I did not think that Brooksby would come out and win 6-1 in the set versus Djokovic, where Djokovic was obviously off, but it was mostly, it seemed to be, because Brooksby just was not missing. And Djokovic usually makes other people miss, and he's used to playing guys with massive serves and massive forehands, and he's used to making those weapons work against players. But Brooksby, most of his serves never went over 110, and he was really just playing smart tennis, Djokovic-esque tennis. So it's super interesting to see Brooksby do to Djokovic what Djokovic usually does to other players. 4 set and a half. Then Djokovic, like the absolute tennis IQ robot he is, he was like calculating, analyzing data, finding weak spots, and then he just mapped out, what do I have to do? And I don't even really know what changed. It just looked like he stopped missing. Brooksby faded a bit physically. It looks like he's been beat up. He has spent about 5 hours more on court than Djokovic had at this point. And he wasn't able to make Djokovic uncomfortable anymore. Djokovic was able to adapt, start hitting through the court more. His forehand was really bad at the beginning of the match, and he was able to turn that around. So from about the second and a half set on, Djokovic was in the driver's seat, but a super interesting match. Obviously, Brooksby is the future. He's wearing the Womo Sport, which is legendary. Womo Sport, obviously, they're great. Clothes made in the USA, we love that. He's wearing Womo Sport, and they've been great to The Slice, so check them out. Into Canadian news, Felix Al-Jayesim is rolling. He just took out France's TFO. He was just too good, and now he is into the quarterfinals, which makes me think he's only got to win 3 more matches to win his US Open. And I saw a great meme today thinking, is Felix Auger-Aliassim's first title on the ATP Tour going to be the US Open, a major? Very slim chances, it looks like, but I would take it away from the kid. He's looking very good on his serve and return, so that's exciting. We have Leylah Annie Fernandez on the women's side from Canada, again, making it through. We talked about it on the last one, but she's just making such a Cinderella run. We got Bianca Andreescu playing right now, and I'm just making this video before she's done because I'm just believing for her to beat Maria Sikari and be in the quarterfinals as well. Let's take a look at the quarterfinals matchups. We always do this, and we got to break them down because this is basically the business end of the tournament now. Berrettini versus Djokovic. again. Third major in a row that they're going to be meeting. And Berrettini, they've been pretty good matches in the last two. Obviously, the last one was in the Wimbledon final. Djokovic does have a 3-0 head-to-head. 3-0 head-to-head lead against Berrettini. The last two times they played, though, Berrettini took a set off both. And at Wimbledon, it was tight. It was Berrettini won the first set, and then it was 6-4, 6-4. Really, it could have gone either way in those sets. So that was interesting. I do think on the surface, Berrettini has to basically throw the perfect game. He has to play his best tennis and maybe get a little lucky. But we haven't seen Djokovic at his best this tournament, I don't think. In general, but also he struggled against a Nishikori and a Jenson Brooksby. Obviously, those guys were playing well. But would you not admit, Djokovic fans, that at other points in his career, it wouldn't matter if Jenson Brooksby or Kei Nishikori was playing well, that you would think Djokovic would handle them a little bit more easily? I tend to think so. I think about 2015, 2011, even like 2019. Like I just feel like he was beating these guys easier. But obviously he's won 3 slams this year. But that's not to say that he's not playing well. I just feel like he's expending a lot of energy, and that's going to be interesting to see against Berrettini. Now, Berrettini has also looked a little bit sluggish in this tournament, coming off an injury between Wimbledon and this. So I do put I could see Djokovic doing this in 3 sets for sure. But also, obviously, Berrettini's extremely dangerous. And if Djokovic doesn't play well, sets could go by quickly. So we will see. Then we got Zverev versus Harris. As I've said before, I don't believe anyone's hitting a ball as good as Zverev is on this planet Earth that we live on. The current planet that we're living on, Earth, no one is hitting a ball as good as Alexander Zverev is currently, in my opinion. But there's a guy named Lloyd Harris, who I said Luke Harris on the last one. That was just a mental mistake. Lloyd Harris from South Africa. Our reporter on the front line, Julian, was literally sitting in his box, like right behind it. And the ESPN feed zoomed in on Julian and literally said, this is his brother. We have heard from inside sources. And I can confirm that Julian is not his brother, but he's also from South Africa, or his family's South African. Anyways, Lloyd Harris is looking extremely dangerous. He served, get this is facts, 36 aces against Riley Opelka, who's like 7'5". I don't know how you serve any aces against Riley Opelka, but serving 36 makes me think that you're on some type of sicko mode. And it's going to take a lot of effort and a very good game from Zverev to stop Harris if he's playing at that level. He took out our guy Shapovalov. I'm not mad about it. Well, I am mad about it, but I won't hold it against you, Lloyd. Played very well. There's nothing Shapo really looked like he could do there. Zverev, is he going to be able to hit through Harris better than that? He's got a better serve than Shapovalov, so that should open up the court a bit more. And he's longer than Harris, which Harris is also very tall. So I'm leaning Zverev for sure, but if he doesn't play great, it could get really dicey and it could get really long and physical, and then it's more up to anyone's game. But obviously, Zverev, number 4 seed, most informed player in the world, in my opinion, right now. I'm giving it to him. Felix Al-Jayesim versus Alcaraz. Carlito Alcaraz. Amazing matchup. We got like the next gen versus the next gen. Obviously, in the last video, we talked about Carlos Alcaraz. I think the nerves could kill Felix Auger-Aliassime, as he's not the young stud next-gen player anymore, which he usually is when he plays anyone. Now he's actually, the expected guy to win, the veteran out of the two, and that could be a problem for him because we've seen him not handle nerves great in the past. But I'm not going to say that he's not handling them great now, because he just had the same thing against Tiafoe, who's another dangerous young player. I do think Felix's serve and return, the way he's been doing it this tournament, will be the differentiator in this match. Alcaraz is going to go blasting. If he plays a couple perfect sets, I could see him taking clean sets off Felix like he did against Tsitsipas. But I do think Felix has the game right now to beat him in 4, maybe even 3. I'm leaning Felix. I'm obviously hoping Felix, but it's going to be an amazing match. Could you imagine not watching that match? That's going to be awesome. Then we got Medvedev versus, I've got this, Botic van de Zandschulp. Come on, how good was that? You got it. That everyone roasts me for my pronunciation, but I feel like that was pretty good. Botic van de Zandschulp from the Netherlands, qualifier, makes it all the way to the quarterfinals. I honestly haven't been able to see much of him because there's been so much tennis going on, but I'm choosing Medvedev in 3. I just can't imagine him playing any more than 3 sets. He's looking amazingly good, and he has an amazingly good chance to make it to the finals without that much sweat dropped. So that's the quarterfinals look up. If my predictions for the semifinals is Djokovic versus Zverev, Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Medvedev. And previewing that, I've had a funny feeling in my stomach about Zverev all year long. When they had the matchup in Australia, I thought this is a danger match for Djokovic. And honestly, Zverev was ahead in that match quite a bit, and he choked quite a bit to let Djokovic get through that when he was not playing his best. And then in the Olympics, obviously, Zverev came back and smashed Djokovic in these last two, like winning 10 of the last 11 games. That was crazy. This is another danger match in the semifinals. I'm talking about if it even happens. Zverev versus Djokovic arguably could be, that could be like the final. I think those are the two best players in the draw potentially. I think they're a little bit ahead of Medvedev, but that's just going to be super interesting. So what are your thoughts on that, folks? Women's draw, like I said, Bianca Andreescu right now, how's she doing? We're checking in live. She's up 3-0. I didn't even doubt it. That's how much confidence I have in our girl. She's up 3-love. I'm just going to make this video before she's done. I'm assuming she'll go on to lose the second set and win it in 3. That's just kind of how she does it. But it's an amazing draw. So we're going to take a look at the quarterfinals here on the women's side of things. We've got Emma Raducanu, British star, versus Belinda Bencic, Swiss star, in the semifinals. That's going to be an amazing matchup. We got Pliskova versus Sikari or Andreescu. I'm going to just say right now it's Andreescu. I will sadly eat my words later if that's not true. Then we got Alina Svitolina, Alita Monfils versus, get that right, Svitolina or Monfils, whatever you want to say, versus Leila Annie Fernandez of Canada. A quarter of the quarterfinalists are Canadians on the women's side. That's legendary. Let's go. Kryakova versus Sabalenka on the bottom. So it's a star-studded quarterfinals on the women's side. This tournament is not letting up. Men's, women's, anywhere you look, it's been absolutely amazing tennis. So what do you think? If you are going to bet on any of these matches, make sure you use Bet-O-Bet. The link is below. They are a betting partner for the tournament. I'm not encouraging betting, but if you're going to do it, you might as well use a great site that gives you all the data you need right up front, and so you can be well informed. Thank you guys for being here. Leave your predictions down below. What did you think of Jenson Brooksby? What did you think of how much effort Nole spent getting the win? And let me know what you think about all these matchups and my predictions. As always, I'll see you in the comment section below. Hit the slicetennis.com for articles going live, the Canadian Corner on the Canadians matchups, what they've been doing during the tournament, and all the other things. Follow me on Twitter. I'm very active on there during matches, very passionate. We will see you guys soon, folks. Take care.